And you think, you know what, I'm just going to tackle a few home improvement projects on my own. Well, you need to be prepared for some potential pitfalls. Here with some legal advice are Ed Herman and Andy Crouppen of the law firm Brown & Crouppen. And when I said potential pitfalls, I think I may have spit on both of you. So I apologize right out of the chute.
Well, and I appreciate that. You did.
And I'm used to it.
I know you are. You usually get the close seat. Nice to have you guys here. Before I'll get you a hanky or something. Before you even start down the road to a home improvement project, there's a lot of stuff you have to consider out of the gate, isn't there?
There is.
Yep. There are.
Thanks
well,
for coming.
exactly. Well, and that takes care of it.
So nice to see.
No, I actually just went through this, so I have a little personal experience because I put a new deck on the back of my house, and I did it with my brother. I handed him tools, and he built the whole thing because I'm not that handy.
And drinks.
Yeah, I got him lemonade. It was, but yeah, you do. You have to. First of all, there's building permits, and those are essential. And then a lot of people, and Andy and I were talking about this earlier, assume, hey, this is my property, so I can do whatever I want on there. It's just not true. There are building lines that you have to be aware of on your property, how far you could extend. And then there's utilities. And we always encourage people to call like 1-800-DIG-RIGHT. Doesn't cost you any money. And literally, they'll come out to your house, and all the different utility companies will mark off where their easements are and where they have pipes and electrical running. So, you have to, at a minimum, make sure you do all that before you start building.
You got to be very careful, especially with the dig-right stuff, because there's electricity under there, there are gas lines. You can get yourself into trouble very quickly.
And it's totally a free service, so it's silly to not call. It's dig-right in Missouri, and then I think Illinois has a similar program called Julie. So check it out. Ask some local officials about it.
And if you don't get the right permits, that beautiful deck you just built and spent 3 weeks building and thousands of dollars, it's possible they can come and make you rip it out.
All right, and let me say this: you'll never have it built in 3 weeks. Not if you're me and my brother. Well, like 3 months, one plank at a time.
Maybe the lemonade had something to do with that.
Oh, and you know what else you got to look at? If you live in a neighborhood, a lot of times neighborhoods have association agreements that also have their own set of rules that, by virtue of you buying that house, you've agreed to these rules, and where it really comes into play, not so much on decks, but like on fencing.
Oh, yeah.
You can only fence a lot of times in a backyard, not a front yard, not a side yard. A lot of times you can't use chain link. They only let you use wood or vinyl. They'll only let you go to a certain height. And it would be a shame to start making that kind of investment only to find out that the neighborhood association is going to say, you've got to take this down. It breaks our covenant.
That would ruin your weekend for sure. Let's talk about pools for a second, too, because this, to me, it's such a great thing to have in the summertime around here, but it's a can of worms. There's legal repercussions in addition to all the permits and regulations that you have to abide by, right?
Yeah, I was looking for a house about 5 years ago and starting to get to know the real estate market, and I was shocked to find out that sometimes having a pool on a property actually devalues the property because there's so much that goes into it in terms of liability, expense. Anyway, everyone knows you got to have a fence around a built, finished pool for safety. You don't want kids getting in, animals. But what you don't sometimes think about is the process of building a pool. You've got an enormous, sometimes 10, 12-foot hole just open in your backyard. You got to make sure that area is secure, because if not and someone gets hurt, you could incur some liability there. Once again, you got to get permits, check with the neighborhood association, do all the same things, but there are some added responsibilities when building a pool as well.
And then this is what I would have forgotten about. You need to contact your home insurance agent when this pool's done, don't you?
Absolutely, because it will affect your premium without question.
But you need that additional coverage because heaven forbid something happen on your property.
And then we come after you.
Yeah, exactly.
People always think about these big projects. Also be careful about the little things. Changing a light bulb, something as simple as changing a light bulb. Last week, my girlfriend was changing a light bulb and stands on her office chair, which is on wheels. I said, what are you doing?
Uh-oh, yeah.
Yeah, so be careful around the house. There are a lot of people who really get hurt doing things that seem like mundane household tasks. Be careful.
And let me say this, too, as a last thought. Know your limitations. There are things that require people who have expertise in an area.
That's why she was changing the light bulb.
Exactly.
And why Ed was handing the tools and not using the tools.
You have to know your limitations. Don't use equipment you're not comfortable with. Don't mess around with electrical things or plumbing things if you don't have a real understanding of what you're doing, because you will get hurt.
There you go. Serious stuff here. If you have a legal question for Brown & Crouppen, email us at great.